Hello vlog, we're now on the tour that we've got to the beauty of Nordfjord. There's the ship beside us. Can't even get it all in. Bob's going to take a nap. That's alright. You're allowed to.
No.
Should be really good views on this one, I think.
So, to start the tour, we are going to leave Olden. Olden is actually a very small city or town, we can say town, with 500 inhabitants only. It has a lot of interesting things like souvenir stores, like one supermarket, 2 churches, a lot of stuff to see here. But we are going a little bit farther to see more beautiful things because the main attraction here is the nature, of course, as you can see all around you. So we are going to have a nice trip around all this area, around the Nordfjord, so you can see a little bit more of this beautiful landscape. Our tour today, we are going to leave Olden behind us just in a couple of minutes, and we are going to head up to Nordfjordeid. On the way there, we are going to drive next to the deepest sea in Europe, that's the Hornindal Lake, the deepest lake in Europe, Hornindal Lake. And we are going to head up to Nordfjordeid. Over there, we are getting a coffee break in a hotel, a very beautiful hotel in Nordfjordeid, and then we are going to take the Panorama Street, the Panorama Road. And you will see once we get there why this street has this name. It's easy to notice. It's a beautiful street with beautiful views all the way, and we are going to do also a couple of stops on the route so you can take beautiful pictures. What you see on the left is also an arm of the Nordfjord. It's an arm of the Nordfjord. It's coming to all this area. The main ports in this area are Olden, Loen. We are going to pass by Loen in a few minutes, and Nordfjordeid. Nordfjordeid is also in our route today. Norway has more than 1,000 fjords, more than 1,000 rivers, more than 1,400 lakes, and more than 2,500 glaciers. They are located up at the top of the mountains. One of the most known, well-known glaciers in this area is the Brixdal Glacier, very next to Olden actually. It's approximately 45 minutes away from here. And it's also one of the highlights in the region. It's just an arm of the biggest glacier in continental Europe, the Iona Glacier. But we have a lot of glaciers located, distributed all around the mountains here at the top of the mountains. Loen is a very, very small town, has only 110 inhabitants. But it got very, very famous since they opened the Skylift. Now has also even a small port where only small ships can come. But as I say, it became very, very popular. We are passing through one of the many camping places in this area. There is a lot of camping places, but you must know that also if you have a tent and you want to camp in the woods, you can do it here in Norway. You don't need a permit, you can just do it up to 2 days. You can stay in the woods and in the same spot. If you want to stay longer, you need to move your spot, you need to move your place to somewhere else, but you can also stay longer. Here we can see on the right now the Hotel Alexandra, much closer, and this agency in Via Ferrata here on the right. they organize excursion to climb this mountain all the way up where the Skylift is, but climbing. A very interesting adventure trip that you can do also in this region. Via Ferrata. We can see already that the Skylift is pretty busy today. Here is the basis, right? Good that we are not saying here, right?
You see the cables going up into the clouds.
So we say that there is a lot of water all around Norway. We have a lot of water in the fjords, in the rivers, in the lakes, in the glaciers. And that's why 95% of the energy in Norway comes from the water. We have hydroelectric centrals distributed in the whole country, and we use the energy coming from the rivers and waterfalls in many cases. And the heating system from the big houses that we see all around Norway is electric, because it's more economic, it's cheaper.
And cleaner.
We are getting now to the next big city here. It's Stryn with 3,000 inhabitants, one of the biggest cities in this area. It's a very, very important city and very, very famous. You know why? Because I live here. Very important place. Also, in the mountain in front of us, there is a winter ski center, very well known in this area. Now it's closed because we don't have enough snow. But if you drive actually a couple of kilometers to the right, there is a summer ski center that normally has open also the whole summer. This year they closed a little bit earlier in June because it was not enough snow, because it's been a really hot summer this year. There is also a glacier next to the summer ski center, and you can go for a hiking on the glacier. It's a very cool experience. Very interesting to walk all over the glacier. Really, really quiet city. I can say that nothing happened here. So quiet that the police department, they open only from Monday to Friday from 10 to 3 p.m.
Later.
And what about the animals that we have in this region? In this area you will not find big animals. We don't have bears, we don't have wolves, we don't have the biggest animals. They were pushed up to the north actually. The farming started here with the Iron Age, actually a long time ago. And as the farmers started to bring their own animals, the sheep, the goats, the cows, the big animals, they were a threat for those home animals, so to say, farm animals. So the farmers started to hunt them, and to hunt them so much that none of them left in this area. In this area we will find smaller animals, we will find deers also, but smaller animals like foxes, like rabbits, and smaller ones. The big animals, you need to go a little bit farther up to the north. The last bear that was seen in this area was seen in 1905 and was shot in Geiranger, the poor bear. And we have it already on the right, Hornindalsvatnet Lake, the deepest lake in Europe, with 514 meters deep in the deepest places. The water is really, really transparent here, really, really clear. We have a visibility underwater from 20 meters. So you can go for a dive here and you can have perfect visibility underwater. It's very rich in trout. The trout here is a little bit smaller than the one we are used to maybe, but fits very good in the pan. It's really tasty. One of the specialities of this area, together with the salmon, of course. Very tasty. And of course, with such a big lake, is 500 meters deep and 22 kilometers long, very big. As you have the monster in Loch Ness, we have also a monster here, of course. And the monster of Loch Ness, he has a name, right? Nessie. How is the name of the monster of Hornindalsvatnet Lake? Horny. So you need to take a look. Maybe you're lucky and you see Horny there. Now take another look into the lake. You see the small islands in the middle of the lake? There is some gravestones in there. Those are the gravestones of the family Hornindal. That was the first family that lived here at the shore of this lake. That's why the lake took that name as well. We have many farms in this area, but actually, as urbanization started to happen in this area, a lot of people that were having farms, they noticed that the life in the farms was pretty much harder than the life in the cities or in the towns. So a lot of people started to leave behind the farms and move to the big cities or to the towns where they have all the facilities that you're gonna have in a city or a town. That life there was much easier. That was a bit problematic actually, because then we were missing people to work the land here. And the government started to take a lot of measures to try to impulse, to protect the people from the farming, and to impulse to try to catch another people coming back to the farms. Nowadays, mostly of the people that has a farm, they have also another job to survive. But the biggest farms, they get an extra incentive, they get money from the government every month to help them in the activities in the farm. Also, the farmers, they have 6 weeks per year vacations, paid vacations. They get the vacations paid, same 6 weeks per year, and they get also extra money to hire somebody to replace them for the time they have vacation. Also, in our policy is like to protect the local production. When we have the season of strawberries, for example, it's forbidden to import strawberries, so we can sell our own products. When we have the blueberry season, we are not allowed to import blueberries, to sell the own products, to sell our products here. Oh, the sun is coming out, it's beautiful. So we do here a small photo stop, let's say 10 to 15 minutes. You can leave all your stuff in the bus, of course, and just enjoy. If you walk a little bit further, here we have a fence, but if you walk a little bit to the front, there is no fence, and you can take some nice pictures over there.
We just got off the bus and we're just looking around at a photo opportunity. Hopefully help Bob wake up a little bit too, of his missing stuff. I didn't get the boys.
Huh?
Should have brought the boys out.
Okay.
Oh god, there's a stone stacking challenge, Bob. Not a bad view, eh? No.
Did you like it?
Yes.
I didn't notice, really. Okay, I would love to stay here longer as well, but we have a full program in front of us, so we continue now to our next stop, that will be Nordfjordeid, and then we will have a coffee break.
Tea break.
TV.
You can have a coffee if you did the last. Or maybe some some juice.
And we are heading to Nordfjordeid. Nordfjordeid is also famous for being the house of the fjord horses. Fjord horses are a race of horses that was born here in this area. It was born as a mixture of horses that the Vikings brought from Scotland. They mixed with the local horses, and so was this race born. They look more like ponies. They are smaller horses. They have a creamy color, more like beige color, and they have a stripe going from the head up to down to the tail, a black stripe. We are going for sure to see them, so keep your eyes open in case you see them on the way, because we are getting closer to Nordfjordeid, so there is more chances to maybe see these beautiful animals on the way. And the river that we are crossing now, this is the Elva. Elva means river in Norwegian. And the Elva is one of the 200 salmon rivers in Norway. You can find here a lot of salmon. And that's why this is one of the ones that you need to pay, where you need to pay a lot of money to be able to fish in here. And the right for fishing that belongs to the farmers in all this area. And to control that people pay the right price to fish here, they put underwater cameras to watch people and to control if they paid for it or not.
20 minutes later.
Okay, now we are officially in Nordfjordeid. That's another big city with 3,100 inhabitants. Big city for this area. And here we have a hospital. Yes, big important place. In Geiranger, for example, it's a small town. They have only 220 inhabitants. Here's quick stop on the right. These white stables, those are the stables from the fjord horses, fjord horse center. They have a lot of horses in there, and they do a lot of events around the year with these beautiful animals. In Geiranger, I was telling that in Geiranger they have only 220 inhabitants. And they don't have a hospital, they have just a medical center where the doctor comes once a week on Thursday only. So only on Thursday are you allowed to be sick. The Church of Nordfjordeid, from the middle of the 19th century, as mostly of the churches here. And it has, as always, a cemetery next to it, because they are evangelical Lutheran churches here. 95% of the churches are Lutherans. And you see these big mountains on the side of the roads here. This was a Viking king grave. It was actually all over the street. The street wasn't here before. It was a big pile of earth here. And here was found the biggest Viking ship ever found, with 30 meters long. The rest of it, because was in the tradition from the Vikings that, same as the Egyptians, they believed that to get into the second life with the same social status that you had in the first life, you need to bring all your belongings with you. the Vikings, they thought exactly the same, but they thought that they would need to get burned with all their belongings. So the fire can show you the way to Valhalla. Valhalla was the paradise of the Vikings. So this king was burned with his big ship. It was 30 meters long, with a lot of horses, with a lot of dogs, with a lot of weapons and expensive elements as well. That's how we could find out that he was a king. So we are getting here already. So we are having here our coffee break. I will let you know then. We are going all together. I will show you the place. You will have a small buffet where you can have cake and coffee and tea. And we will meet again here in the bus at 10 past 11. Okay? 10 past 11 we have departure from here.
Later.
We just stopped at Nordfjord for some cake and tea, which is nice. Quite good scenery, as all of this has been. There's the hotel there. Yeah, it's nice. Enjoying it so far, Bob?
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, now I'm awake.
Yeah, and I'm glad the sun's come out because it's a lot warmer. It's a bit colder in the shade, but still nice. Gathering back at the coach, and I'm going to need to change the battery soon, so I might get one out ready and head on to our next stop, wherever we're going. Not sure when the next one is.
Now we are leaving Nordfjordeid and we will head towards the Panorama Road or Panorama Beke. So now we are reaching the Panorama Beke. You will see why it's Panorama called. In 3, 2, 1, ta-ta! These are the views of the Panorama Road. That's why it's called like that. And these views will be with us all the time that we are crossing this street. This street was actually built in many years, in actually 100 years. They started to build this street in 1905 and they finished in 2005. Why so long? Because it was not meant to be so long, and they didn't do everything at once. First, this street was meant to be just a street connecting one small town with the next village. But then the neighbors saw it and say, oh my god, they have a street and we don't. We want a street as well. So they started to extend the street, and this happened many times. So, and have you seen already these houses, like here on the right? The houses with turf roof. Have you seen them before?
Yeah.
You know what is this for? Insulation, exactly. That protects the house very well in the winter time. It makes the house warmer, and it also protects for the hot summer as well. If it's well made, if it's good made, it can last for 30 years. So it's a really cheap, actually, air conditioning, we can say. It was an old tradition that the Vikings started, actually. Now we are in Lotte, and in front of us is the ferry station of Lotte. This ferry connects this side of the fjord with the other side. It's approximately 2 kilometers the distance, and it takes only 5 minutes to cross over there with the ferry. This ferry, as almost 100% of the ferries in Norway, is an electric ferry. You can see the charger, this white tower here, is a ferry charger. They charge energy here and then they go to the other side. Norway wants to be a zero emissions land country till 2026. In 2025 they will stop selling normal cars. They will only sell electric cars in all the possibilities, all the possible brands. You will have electric cars here to be a zero emissions country. But don't worry, we will keep selling oil for export. So now pay attention here. Look at the street on the other side of the fjord. Where is the street?
There isn't one.
Do you find it?
No.
There is no street. That's why. There is no street on the other side, but we have a long street on this side. Why is that? Because the sun shines much more on this side of the fjord than on the other side. That's why we have a lot of farms, a lot of villages on this side, and we needed a street to connect all those villages. And the other side is not so many people living. That's why they don't need such a long street as this one.
20 minutes later.
And with the Panorama Road we will reach in the highest point, the 550 meters high. Are you afraid of heights?
Yeah.
Good, because now it's too late. So here we can understand how hard was life actually in the past, in this steep landscape. It was really complicated for the farmers living in these places, isolated from everyone and high in the mountains. It was also always hard for the animals even. We have a lot of loss of animals because they just fall down. People here, the farmers, they need to tie up the animals so they don't fall down. And they did it even with the kids when they were playing outside. Do you do that with your kids at 12? No? Sometimes, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sure.
Eventually.
So after this tunnel we are going to do our first photo stop in the Panorama Road. So get ready. We are going to do 10 to 15 minutes again.
That's right. I'm not going to fall. Coming back up might be a trouble.
So then that was not one of the most beautiful photo stops in the Panorama Bay, the Panorama Route. Now we are continuing to the next one, that's Nordfjord. And then we will go to do another stop there.
20 minutes later.
Okay, we are already in our next photo stop, Nordfjord. I will ask you please to stay on the right side, to not go on the other side of the road because there is cars coming and going all the time.
It's horrible, I hate it. I'm joking, by the way. I think over here is, I think it's the Carnival Pride, which is not far from Iona. So if it is, then ours, we're just up around the corner.
Yeah, that's where we've come.
Yep, and you can see the road we've just come down over here. mountain shrouded in cloud.
So then after leaving our last photo stop in the Panorama Lake, now we are leaving the Panorama Lake. And we're coming back
We went up that way. We went up.
the same way to Stryn, Iona and
Because we're going
Olden.
up this road, we'll be coming.
To talk a little bit about the history of Norway, we can situate the Vikings between 793 and 1066. That was the time where the Vikings were in this territory. They had a lot of settlements always next to the sea. They were really good sailors and explorers as well as warriors. You maybe know about it already.
It's busy with the
Oh,
Skylift now.
still pretty busy here.
Skylift's busy. Queue goes up.
Should we make a stop here? No, okay.
Very busy.
Yeah, when two cruise ships are here, this place is pretty busy. But you saw a lot today, right? You saw a lot of beautiful views, the whole Panorama Street, the Hornindalsvatnet Lake. Did you see any trolls? No? Oh, it's amazing. Not even the monster from the lake, Horny. Okay. And have you heard about the Ultra?
No.
No? The Ultra is the most beautiful woman you can imagine, after your wife, of course. She had golden hair, perfect face, completely a beauty. But when she turns around, she has a cow tail.
Nice.
You need to take care with the Ultra because she spells men and brings them into the boots. But when a man follows her, nobody see him again. He disappears. Similar is with the waterman. The waterman lives in the water. He can take the shape of a piece of wood floating in the water. He can take the shape as well of a horse or a handsome man. He spells women and young ladies and kids and bring them into the water and pull them down,
I can see
so we
the
never
Skylift.
see them again. The Vikings, they have really particular beliefs. Have you ever heard the creational story from the beliefs of the Vikings? No? I want to tell you how it goes. At the beginning it was only darkness and chaos. One day, from the north came ice masses, from the south fire streams. They met, and from this meeting, the giant Ymir was born. The giant Ymir needed to get food, and he found a cow named Audumla, and he started to drink her milk. Audumla needed to get food as well, and she got food, and then she was licking the ice from the stones all around. From the ice, she set free the first god, Buri. Buri had a son, Bor, and Bor had three sons, Billy, Ve, and Odin. Maybe you heard about Odin already, right? These three gods, they killed the giant Ymir. From his flesh, they made the earth. From his blood, they made the seas. From his bones, they made the mountains. From his hair, they made the woods. And from his coal, they made the sky. And from his brain, they made the clouds. Very creative, right? So was this beautiful world made by the beliefs of the Vikings. And now we are getting back to the ship. We're back in Olden and almost at the end of our tour. Do you enjoy it? Yes. Amazing. I'm really happy to hear it. Really happy to hear it. So at this point I would like to thank you that for being here today. Thank you for having this beautiful mood today. It was really nice to share the time with you. I hope you enjoyed as well, and I hope you are coming back to Norway anytime or to Olden. Enjoy the rest of the cruise. Enjoy your time here. Please try and take care to not forget anything in the bus. Don't take all your belongings with you. And I wish you then all the best. Thank you very much. And we give, of course, a big applause for Tadia, our best driver ever.